Yes, man! What the rock?
Crack rock.
Okay. My computer just freaked out. Are we good? Did it play an
We're
intro
good.
video?
We're back.
It played an intro. We're good. There's a little bit of a delay there, but I started us off hot, so we're good.
We're back. And we are back to talk about non-Super Bowl things. We'll do some real quick NFL news and notes that didn't involve the Super Bowl. So just hand this thing off here to C's.
All right. And what would probably be one of the last meaningful news and notes until free agency starts. We have a few little notes, tidbits to get to. At the conclusion of the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, has now decided to throw his hat in the ring for the head coach of Fight Club, as he will be representing the Las Vegas Raiders in the Fight Club. And he is the last head coach, this is the last head coaching position to be filled here in the start of the offseason for the NFL. Now, outside of that, we have a couple of other things. There is a potential.
It's kind of weird.
What
The Raiders are the Raiders' last two coaching hires. A Seahawk coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think
this one's just happened.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, and then who was the one before that?
There's not necessarily a trend unless this guy gets fired, and then there's another thing. But there was a funny tweet out. I think maybe it was a reporter that said it, or maybe it was a fan just making this joke. But they were like, "This is the fourth time that this kind of video has been posted of him walking into the facility and saying." This the fourth time they've seen it since they moved to Vegas. Yeah. This exact video of selling the new regime.
Oh,
we bought it last year. We scooped it up a little bit last year, but
yeah. But with this one, we'll see how long he sticks around, because the Raiders are paying, I think, like three head coaches money right now that aren't on the team. I think they're still paying John Gruden. Of course, you have Pete Carroll, and then whoever came before
Pierce.
Antonio Pierce. Yeah, they're paying all three of these guys lots of money to not coach their team.
I think Gruden's officially off the books. I might be wrong.
Maybe. Who knows?
Dave Portnoy's got him now.
Yeah, I don't know if that works that same way, but yeah. There's some things that Clint Kubiak is going to have to deal with. They're swirling Max Crosby trade rumors right now. There's been some reported rumors of him going to Tom Brady and saying he does not want to come back to the Raiders. That one hasn't been confirmed, but Diana Rossini of The Athletic has reported that all indication from the Raiders is that Max Crosby can be had in a trade this offseason. So we'll see what happens there. Next up, guys, a guy who famously played for the Raiders might just be coming out of retirement. Derek Carr, who retired last May, apparently
I didn't
might unretire.
That's a funny one. Okay, all right, bro.
Yeah,
cool.
He might.
So you just didn't like New Orleans because New Orleans didn't like you. Is that what was going down? You had to make your way out, and then fucking Tyler Shook had to come out and be better than you were with their own team.
And that might be it. And there's also some of the reporting that I've seen is that
Spencer
he
Rattler
essentially
Shook.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Some of the things that I've seen is that he was dealing with shoulder injury problems, and so he just decided to retire, allegedly. Right, this is all alleged. And now his shoulder is feeling back to normal. And hey, you know what? Who knows? But if somebody needs a short-term, I guess, bridge quarterback, you could do worse than Derek Carr.
I'll give him the credit of knowing that it does feel like this is a good off season for a quarterback to go and try to land a gig. So I do respect the timing, but at the same time, I'm thankful, at least in the interim, that my franchise is likely not to be the one to be calling his number.
I'm a little worried that my head coach thinks he's a quarterback genius.
Yeah.
He might call that. Hey,
and maybe he can. I don't know, but I'm not excited about the prospect.
Well, here's the thing. It's either that or you get reunited with Kirk Cousins again.
Nah. Give JJ one more year to fail, and then I'll go find me a new one.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna have to sell that to Justin Jefferson. He might just be like, "Give me Kirk back, please. I'm begging." Or you could do worse. You could even scrape the bottom of the barrel by bringing in Tua, who the Dolphins have reportedly said are expected to move on from Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, that one's. I feel like that's fair. That one we all know is coming.
Yeah, and so we're not just that. It seems that Justin Fields might also be out with the Jets. Of course, you have Kyler with the Cardinals might also be out.
That one's not as easy to predict. I feel
that his landing spot is going to be very interesting because he is such a peculiar quarterback.
I think he's the star of the show. If you're talking about all these names, I think that's probably the one that moves
worried
the
about
meter
that
the
one
most.
too.
I think Kyler Murray moves the meter big time for some of these, especially the I can fix him coaches.
I think if he was to reasonably land anywhere, it might be Miami, or it might be the Jets. The reason being the Jets tire fire, they're desperate. It might just work. There's a chance that Aaron Rodgers does return.
Fat Mike and Aaron are coming back for one more round.
One more round, even though they got sick of each other at the end of it.
That's actually kind of fun. I don't know how this ended up happening in real life, but here we go.
Right? And so, yeah, you're gonna see a quarterback carousel. So the names to look out for, right? Tua, Justin Fields. You're going to have Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers possibly. And then, of course, the return of Derek Carr back into this pool of just short-term starters. So we'll see what happens in those instances there.
Is Phillip Rivers gonna snap us?
Who knows, man? Maybe. You also have
Derek goes to Houston to avenge his brother's legacy. I'm thinking good defense needs a quarterback. Obviously, they wouldn't need the starter. But maybe if you hedge your bet, they might bench him. That's why I'm like, if I'm Carr, then maybe I'm like, oh, I don't have to start the season. I get a little bit of cushion, and then if this kid sucks or gets hurt, I got a shot. I don't know.
Could be.
I'm just saying.
Could be. And then
I imagine he wants to come back to back up, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. All right, and then what else? We got some other news that we got to get to in the player coaching world of active players. So longtime offensive lineman coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jeff Stoutland, no longer with the team. They hire Minnesota Vikings guy. It was Cooper.
I have no idea.
Not excited about that, seeing how he hasn't really developed anybody in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens there. Now into some more legal news.
The only thing I'd say is I don't know how much say he had in drafting and signing, but
yeah, but you still want your coaches to develop these guys, and everything that I've seen. Listen, I've heard from some beat reporters from the Vikings side who have come on to Eagles podcast. They don't exactly have great things to say about it. They don't have bad things, but they don't have great things either. So, now moving on from that, we have some legal news to talk about, gentlemen. So
legal news.
Yep. James Pierce Jr., the first-round draft pick of the Atlanta Falcons, is facing 5 felony charges.
But only a 1-game suspension.
Not great, Bob.
Not great, no.
It is.
As a matter of fact, there's a WNBA player that says she would testify against it.
Yeah, actually, Rakea Jackson, who's one of the brighter young stars of the game. Yeah. Patrick.
Yes.
I didn't want to make my trivial point when we're talking about something serious, so
I mean, I don't know what to say. This guy
it always makes me laugh
when
you try to do that comp of suspensions with the NFL, because it's just an impossible task for them to pick an amount of games, because there were only 17 of them.
And they don't feel very consistent.
Baseball, they're like, we're going to ban you 81 games. You're like, oh shit, that's fucking serious. In football, if they ban someone 9 weeks, like that's basically a season.
What about 6 weeks for being a party boy? Anyway.
And like, so what's a 1 game suspension? Is that like?
No. If it's DV, it's 1-2. If you wreck somebody's car, 1-2. If you go out and do drugs and get photographed too often, you get 6 games. That's the rules. That's the way that Roger Goodell has officiated it in my lifetime. And that's the way I see it.
That's how Roger runs it. But just so everybody knows what these charges are, if in case they haven't seen or heard it yet.
You decided to do a little ecstasy in Vegas at EDC and get caught on camera being a little aggressive to a security guard, 6 games.
Oh, yes. All right, now this is the counts right now.
There would be no suspension.
Yeah.
All right, so in Miami-Dade County, where he was arrested, he's facing 2 felony counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, a felony count of aggravated stalking. Other charges include fleeing and eluding police officers, and aggravated battery of a law enforcement officer.
And there's video of this, right?
Huh? I believe there's
also
some video
on the internet of this arrest.
I believe so. I mean, yeah. So,
it's as bad of a story as you can get from a league that gets it pretty consistently, but also a sport that gets it pretty consistently when you get into the college football guys and how much they rack up.
The best news for all them on this is that it's at the most dead part of the season. So by the time it all circles back around, the story's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless there's a huge ruling against him, right?
And it's also funny we hear the character concerns thing, but I don't think I've ever seen so many people have so many receipts on somebody's character concerns like this young man had.
What's there's some old football coach that was like, if Hannibal Lecter could run like a 4.040, then or whatever.
No, and I understand that aspect of it. It just cracks me up because sometimes we also sort of we assume that the character concerns are sometimes in racism or in stereotypes and stuff, but sometimes they just generally are accurate.
Some guys do just suck. There are Stephon Diggs out there.
Yeah. Although, and then you got this guy who as soon as the story came out, a lot of people who claimed to go to high school with the guy, like, we knew even then he had problems. I'm like, all right, cool. So it seems like the writing was on the wall, I suppose. In this guy's particular case. Now, another sad, tragic story here involving former NFL. Well, this guy's a former NFL player.
Yeah.
Former first-round pick of the New York Jets, Darren Lee, has been jailed without bond on a murder charge. It's a first-degree murder charge of his girlfriend in Tennessee. Yes. So a lot of people may not remember Darren Lee, but he was a first-round pick of the Jets. He played in the league for a couple of years. And, he has a hearing on March 9th in regards to his case. He maintains his innocence, I believe, or he's maintaining his innocence in this case. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, just some.
He wasn't in the league anymore, you said?
He wasn't. Yeah, he hasn't played since 2020. So there is that. Some of the findings are a little gruesome, so I don't want to get into that. But it's a lot. So if somebody's interested in the more detail, like more details of the situation at hand, I encourage you to go, do your research, read it. But that's all you need to know for now, is that he is in jail without bail. And then lastly, this
usually
one
not
is
a great sign.
Definitely not. And then lastly, we're going to end things off on no news, but it is funny note to put here. Joey Porter, a former Pro Bowl All-Pro linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, on his podcast, has gone on to say that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't a good teammate or person. It's like saying the sky is blue. But it's so funny that such a notable teammate has gone out to just publicly say something. So that's interesting. He said,
you get a bunch of comments that have already been on his post that are like, from other Steeler players that are laughing, including I think Mason Rudolph.
I mean, like, are they laughing laughing in agreement or laughing at him?
No, it really sounds like Ben Roethlisberger, who apparently has a podcast now, which I almost didn't like. I had never like that. Obviously, had not crossed my world. Thankfully, I'm expecting if I hear he has a podcast, is it with Brett Favre?
Yeah.
But like, and what good Lord knows what they're talking about. But anyway, so I mean, this feels like one of those things we always knew. And now we get confirmation now that it's 10 years. Everyone's retired, writing books. And the modern writing books is just doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And then, and we learn more about the information, right? And we get to see what was the reality. What was Michael Jordan really like? All right, now we know maybe too much, In this case, I feel like we all could have guessed Ben Roethlisberger was a giant piece of shit. There was a lot of evidence towards this, including legal evidence. And so it's just one of those things where it is pretty funny to see those guys jump on his ass because, I mean, they had to cover up for him and pretend like he was not a piece of shit because they were winning games. And that's kind of the other side of the sports world that definitely, I mean, all business world too.
Yeah.
Plenty of worlds where you have to exist with people who are pieces of shit to go your own way.
No, it's not. Joey Porter did not only mention Ben Roethlisberger, but also his fellow linebacker, James Harrison. So he goes on to say Roethlisberger and Harrison quote unquote, broke the brotherhood by discussing team business and criticizing former head coach Mike Tomlin on their own podcast. He goes on to say Harrison broke the brotherhood. Then Seven, which, referring to Roethlisberger, definitely broke the brotherhood. Out of anybody that should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business. Because if we talk Steeler business, his ass is foul of all foul. That shit that he did is foul of all foul. He's not a good teammate.
No, he definitely slept with somebody's wife or something. Amongst all the other stuff like that, there was some real vitriol there.
Yeah, or he's just going and narking everyone out to the freaking owner and GM and everybody.
Yeah. No, you talking about Snake Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's Snake Lee. Yeah.
So this is, he goes on to say this. Won the Super Bowl with him.
He's just a dirtbag, He's just a good old fashioned dirtbag himself.
Oh, 100%. Won the Super Bowl with him, but the person, he's just not a good teammate. He knows that. Anybody in the Steelers building knows that. But we protected him because I've only won one Super Bowl, and that was my quarterback. So do I love my quarterback? Yeah, but is he a good person? No.
Basically, how you could summarize most sports fans' relationship with their favorite players as well.
Yeah, and then this was on Cameron Hayward's podcast. So
good Lord, dude! All these, I know I'm on the talk here, but this does crack me up. It does crack me up because it's just like the multiply jokes is funny, and then for Pablo to have the podcast where they're saying they're using it like a slur in legal jargon is fucking killing me, dude. I don't know where I stand on the subject. It seems like I feel like we should have the free speech, and then I see what we do with it, and I'm like, no, we still should have it. God damn it. That's funny.
Yeah, and then apparently, so one of the first instances that Joey Porter got the sense that Roethlisberger sucked was he refused to sign memorabilia for teammates' families during practice, something that was common, and he did this during his rookie year, mind you.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least he set the boundary right away.
Right, I guess so. But yeah, that is I'm sure there are other reasons for why he feels this strongly about Ben Roethlisberger.
No, I feel like it's stuff that I feel like if they don't bring up the specific stuff, it's because there's another person innocently involved potentially in the story that they don't want to drag into the situation. It is usually if they're going to be this coy, because a lot of times they just will fucking say it. I don't know, especially these guys.
Right.
CTE not to have the inhibition to stop themselves. So might as well.
Might as well, yeah.
It's good for content. None of us would have known any of these podcasts exist if this thing hadn't happened. So.
Exactly, and I'm sure they might just be appealing to like the local markets in which they played. You know, you can get.
Well, that is the gig for sure.
Yeah. Nah, at that point, you might as well just join your local market's radio station. But I guess if you're not living there anymore, then
at this point, actually, if you've already got the LLC money, you might as well just do it yourself and save on the dying radio entity.
Oh yeah, perhaps so. Yeah, that's all I got, guys. I probably won't have anything for some time until March when the league year reopens for free agency, the draft. So let's just focus on the hoops. Let me pass the rock to the man, the hoop commander.
Zero, there's Rock.
Whoop.
I was also not expecting to do much, but Patrick's so basketball hungry that he demanded more.
He just wants you to glaze the Spurs.
That's true. I mean, he is more interested this season because we're getting full Wemby.
It's a bittersweet day today in Spurs Kingdom. That's
true. It ended up turning. We can start on that because that story wasn't initially in our rundown and then kind of popped in on us. So one of the first parts of this is we've had the trade deadline. We've had a bunch of buyouts. We've had not really a lot of people move teams yet on the buyout market. That'll happen in the next coming weeks. But another player has been added to it. San Antonio Spurs seemingly weren't able to move on from Jeremy Sohan, and so they agreed to part ways with them, which is a good thing because obviously it shows that they did what they could as a team. They knew they were going to make a decision on it this offseason. So instead of doing that, they give him the opportunity to pick that next destination, which is obviously something they would mostly only do for a player who had done his job other than maybe be as successful as they wanted him to on the court.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can say poorly is he just didn't develop as quickly as the team around him did, and that's not necessarily his fault.
He's a specific talent. He needs to take it back to the lab for a little bit because now that we're looking at guys like, there's Matisse Thybulle that just got cut in Portland, and I wonder if he'll ever get picked up again. These guys. Is there
room in the league for guys who don't score the ball anymore?
That's what I'm kind of saying here. Is I've begun to question that over the last 5 years more than usually.
It's just like you can't have a goon in hockey anymore. You can't just waste a third line on a guy who can't skate.
I do think that there's some element of that now. Because, I mean, honestly, I think that's the reason Dylan Brooks has saved his career is that he's gotten to efficient levels of scoring in multiple ways now, which is really impressive. But he's just stopped being such a negative from three-point shooting. He's capable three-point shooters taking too many shots, bad shots. He hones in on that, then builds on the game, and now here he is. Sohan can have a similar path, probably would be different.
He's still so young. Was he 22, 23?
Yeah, and I think that's where it's interesting to see what rosters pick him up. I've seen plenty of people, the Suns were allegedly going to trade for him for a second there, and I think they kind of smartly realized, why would we waste the asset on this? You could argue with the Lakers. That's fine. I think I do wonder, based on where he goes, is how much we'll see how the league values him. Because if a team that's at least in the play-in or better is sniffing him, then I feel like that is a good tell for his ability. Like I do. But if he ends up going to Indiana, Washington, wherever they just need guys who are respectable and will get time, yes.
I mean, that's the key for the Spurs making this move is he's going to go somewhere where he's going to get to play because he just can't. Yes. We can't play him, which sucks.
And I do think there's a roster fit that just is unfortunate with San Antonio that could play a bigger part in all of this. But yeah, I mean, he just the shot has just not developed in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. When you don't play, there's no rhythm, so that's definitely not getting better. So I think his journey starts on that with a new team. Again, I'm interested to see what his decision is because there's also that argument is not just how the league looks at him, but how he looks at his opportunity. Because if you're going to have a short leash in Phoenix, in LA, or wherever that's contending for playoffs. If you're in Indiana, you already know the situation when you get there. You're 30 games down already,
Yeah.
Like you're not going anywhere. So you can win or lose as much as you want there.
It's just it's weird with him because he came in, so it's before Wemby. So he's like, in my life as a Spurs fan, it's never been like with the Rangers where there's just like guys you like on a crappy team. And Sochan kind of had that coming up, and then all of a sudden we just kept drafting we got high draft picks.
You got the guy.
Yeah. We got Wemby, and then we got Castle and Harper.
You got the draft that mattered more than any of the other picks that would ever matter.
And yeah, so it's just weird, like having that dichotomy of like, this is the guy we all love, but we can't play him. So what do you do?
And it was really Wemby's drafting that initially started this worry.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people looked at this and were like, honestly, this is I don't know how these two players play together. And obviously this player is not, this player's seeing the court. So, it's just one of those things, yeah.
But hopefully he ends up somewhere cool. I like him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the opportunity.
He's one of the few Polish basketball players we have, right? So
true, Polish, British, right?
Yeah,
but to choose.
But from like Waco or something, or Oklahoma.
No, he played in Baylor.
He was born in Oklahoma, though, right?
I don't know that specific.
I think so.
So what else? What's the big one? What are the big ones you want to start on? Let's go Kawhi, Pablo Thermal Flames on
really
fire.
a ton additional stuff there, but it's worth mentioning, I think.
Yeah, it's fun to watch if you've been watching this. I think my only part that I would add on to it at this point is I think it's fair that even if you were interested in this and that there's still a little fatigue, that maybe you're over it because the league's not going to do anything. And I don't think the league's going to do anything during the league year. I don't think they ever planned on doing something during the league year. If the Clippers or Kawhi Leonard face any punishment, I definitely think that happens in the offseason.
Oh, yeah. There's no way they're doing it in the middle of the year.
And so
definitely not before the All-Star break.
Right. And I think that was also why they're doing this, is to draw more attention. I think if you follow what Pablo's been doing, there's a lot of accountability that he wants to bring back to journalism, to show people why journalism matters so much. There's a lot of negativity in this space. You see PBS lose the Weekend show. You see Washington Post shut down their sports page. You see just a lot of these different starting signs of a real fading accountability with journalism.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I think for Pablo, it's a little bit too much to get into the whole global problem of it all. But I do think that ultimately he's just in a lane where he's great at sports. He's done this for long enough to have the connections. So now it's time for him to take over this mission, but on the sports plane, and really only tackle stories that have sports adjacent things with them. I mean, sometimes they reach a little bit, but even with the death row inmate that they were just doing, they do this big Cowboys spin, Super Bowl.
I still haven't watched that sequel yet.
So they just do a lot of good stuff with this, right? And you're finding a good way to tell the bigger stories of America and maybe even the world a little bit through the sports lens, which is also kind of kissing Elmer Fudd when it comes to how to deal with the political rhetoric of what you should or should not be using your platform for. But it's a good show, and I think, yeah, if you're ready to tune it out by now, I get it. It doesn't feel like there is that much more damning evidence coming out with all of it. But it does feel like Pablo's pounding the drum of accountability, and I do appreciate that. So,
I would say the biggest thing. Where is it? Oh my god! I gotta get out of the hoopla thing because it just twitches every time I look at it. Okay. Add this. Sorry, I should have had this ready. I think the biggest thing for me that came out of it was this Michael Winger. How many fucking side deals have we made with Kawhi?
The man who just traded for Anthony Davis right there.
Guy who was the general manager at the time of signing Kawhi.
He was the assistant general manager, I believe, right? Or was he GM
2017 to 23, he was the general manager.
Okay. Well, they have a weird front office. I forget where I know the hierarchy. I don't remember the titles. It's Lawrence Frank.
Yeah.
And then this guy
in charge.
Yeah. And then this guy was a part of it. And then this guy took the Wizards job a year or two ago.
He's now president of Monumental Basketball, a division of Monumental Sports and Entertainment that manages the Wizards and the Mystics.
Exactly.
So I guess he's in charge of the Wizards and the Mystics.
Well, that's just the company that owns all of it, so that's probably how they have to label it. But he's just the
he's the
president
president
GM
of Monumental Basketball.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's another person that handles the Mystics specifically. I don't think he would do both of those roles.
You're probably right.
Just like there's a general manager for the Texas Legends. Like those guys don't have to do that job. That's a different job. That's like a developmental role in the executive world. The guy who did it for a while at the Texans Legends, at least while I was working there, was Dirk's best friend. It's Dirk and Nash's buddy. That's how he got the gig. But he's not there no more. But that. He was really good.
Pablo.
Dude, no, he was a good dude though. Like he really was really friendly, and like as far as execs go, like he was actually like he would even talk to interns. Like he would just shoot the shit. It was very casual. Like treated it like it was just a fucking basketball game. You know what I mean? Like a normal person. And so anyway, that's just a weird thing how those worlds are built. Giannis did some insider trading.
Maybe.
Yeah, allegedly? Sure. You're right. That's the appropriate word, allegedly. So we've kind of not done a lot of trade coverage this season, except for the one show, because it was just dead. It just didn't happen. It happened one time we were recording. That was cool. But really there was no other time that it happened. And mostly because everyone was like, oh shit, we can trade for Giannis. Like, I mean, this is literally every team with any sort of initiative and opportunity was definitely looking into every avenue that they could pull that off. Then the trade deadline came, nothing happened. We knew that about 24 hours in advance of the actual deadline. And then we started getting reports from seemingly pissed off rival executives snitching on them, essentially saying that they were never serious at all. Giannis posts a meme about it, about coming back. And then the 24 hours after the deadline announces his partnership with, and again, I don't give a shit to learn it correctly, Kalshi.
I've only heard other people say it, so I don't know how they say it. I think Kalshi.
Yeah. Whatever. The dumbass thing you've probably been hearing about where you basically just create your own bet out of whatever. If you're just beefing with your wife over TV options or something, you can just put a fucking wager on it and see who's going to win. I don't understand where we needed this technology. Is gambling so like, is it so bad that they can actually pull off this kind of products this easily? Is it just going to compete so well in sports markets that they're advertising the goofy stuff just to appeal to wider audiences?
This is a front for money laundering.
That's what it feels like. Like I don't understand.
There's nothing else. There's no other reason.
This feels like FTX, where like the whole time everyone's like, no, this is the new Miami Heat sponsor. This is normal. This is the future. And I'm like, no, this looks like a scheme. This doesn't look like a real thing. This is fake. And then now that company's belly up and has gone under investigation for 2 different presidential DOJs. So it's like, I think that one definitely takes cake. But yeah, I don't know if Giannis will be in trouble. I don't know if Pablo's working on the story. We'll see.
He's got to be looking into it.
If we're talking about the biggest stories of the year, I think Giannis's trade has definitely won the year so far, because yes, it was a big story that dominated and shut down the trade market, but then for it to end this way seemingly is quite crazy. And I also have heard that Kevin Durant is a part of their partnership or is invested in this company. I don't know if that's true, but we've been learning a lot about NBA player investments recently, and it's not great news for some folks. I don't know how to explain this stuff to the sports fans, but it's just a crazy world when you have money, and it's an even crazier world when you have money and you have a religious belief that helps you align with other people with very radical religious beliefs. So yeah, that's where it's at.
Mark Cuban is buying the Mavs again,
which kind of goes into what I was going to talk about. So that's all one story, and it's really the only one that's fun to talk about.
But he is.
So we got a report about this from Mark Stein. And we also got a little bit of DFW old man reporter beef with Tim Kalishaw and him going a little bit of that. So that's interesting, but it's more interesting because we also got another DFW guy. Look at all the DFW guys breaking basketball news left and right.
What's happened?
Brad Townsend is the one who broke the news that there's a likely vote coming for expansion this offseason, which is important to talk about just because there's a couple of things that matter for a few franchises. For the Mavericks part of this, to finish on what you were saying, like, in theory, this could allow the Adelsons to get the Las Vegas team, and that would allow Mark Cuban and whoever this particular rumor came out to be to buy the team. There's also been reporting that Dirk's not a part of this, which is, I love how far we're looking into this. But more or less, the board of governors are going to vote.
Maybe LeBron's the secret investor.
Well, and that actually is an important aspect because if you remember, LeBron was promised the Las Vegas team years ago. I think the Adelsons know something about that, so they would never
promised.
There's a joke there, but
how many years ago?
I don't think it was 3,000, but it's been a while.
What'd you say?
Said LeBron was promised the Vegas team a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm confused, but it's okay.
There's a conflict in the world based on alleged promises written in a book.
Oh,
right.
And the Adelsons are part of a very problematic group, if you will.
Sorry, sometimes
by that,
people don't live in the real world.
Hold on, Caesar. Chill out before you end up getting attention that we do.
What? The casino groups, they're problematic. What? You muted yourself and you're still muted.
No,
yeah,
I kicked
the
mic. I kicked the mic. I kicked the mic and did a bit to save it. To save what you were saying, by that you meant of the Zionist variety of the people who are very specific about their.
Whoa, they're what?
They're Zionists. This is their choice of words. The thing that you were inferring to is, especially if we're going to post this on YouTube, might be picked up and delivered to a different audience, and for that I cannot help you.
What if we just bleep it out and make people wonder what we're saying? That'd be funny.
I love Larry David too much to ever.
Stein update from a little while ago.
Oh God, what's
they got a response from Dumont.
Oh, okay. What did Dumont say?
The team is not for sale, and the Adelson and Dumont families look forward to expanding their ownership stake over time.
Look, and I completely buy that. But like I said, there is a path here, and that's why it's going to be talked about. If the vote was to happen, Vegas, Seattle, almost obvious. I don't think there's really anyone that would surprise us come in. This has been coming. We've been trying to forecast it. There was even a world where Adam Silver sort of announced this to have already, like, we should already be existing in a world with Seattle and Vegas basketball teams again. But mostly because of COVID and the TV rights deal, that all got pushed back, and now we're still well without those teams.
Yeah.
That being said, doesn't necessarily guarantee we're at the finish line, because the money is still an issue. Mark Cuban was that, and back to Mark Cuban, was the one who kind of pissed all over this the first time it was being announced, because he was just explaining how it worked more or less when he was like, look, they all have to split the pie. Like, it's 30 ownership groups splitting a pie right now, and it's going to have to be a slimmer piece if you add 2 more ownership groups to it. And so that's all it is. Adam Silver even acknowledged that going into the season, which is why they're more interested in the NBA Europe aspect of this. But maybe that helps their evaluation and helps them sort of offset the difference in cost that those owners are going to be taking by splitting their pie. Again, this is all world's smallest violin when it comes to these rich guys for me. But
who's bringing this to a vote?
The board of governors, which would be,
all the owners.
They're not called that. This is a progressive league.
Well, my question is, which one of them wants this?
Sure.
Huh?
Who would want this enough to bring the vote?
That's probably the good question if you're going to look into the reporting.
Why?
Well, the league for sure.
I mean,
anybody in the owners probably not.
That's the answer. Is that someone's probably got motivation? Is it Portland? Is it New Orleans? People that have something significant to gain when it comes to not losing their franchises potentially. Sacramento, maybe. Memphis at some point, even though now we know there's a weird contract there. But I guess if it was mutual with the league, then maybe they would bend that rule.
Those don't mean anything. It's like a new trade clause.
So, like, it's one of those things where I do find it interesting if the expansion was to be voted no on, I do think that would close the book on expansion talks for probably a decade, if forever,
until they get some major cash influx.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's feasible. I think if you talk about the talent of the league, it's doable. I don't think it would be that much of a diminishing returns on the product. I do understand that there's plenty to criticize with the NBA regular season, but I don't think it hurts them to go to 2 more markets. I just understand that it's also sort of hard to get everyone to agree to let that happen.
Yeah.
And so that's where I guess I'd still just say it's pretty 50-50 at this point. But I am glad that they're going to vote on it because at least we can fucking all move on one way or another.
Yeah, we'll see what people think. We'll at least get numbers, right?
Yeah. And so we'll see about that. But it is interesting. And like I said, I think you do have to wonder a little bit for the teams who could potentially be relocated if this gets shut down. Because I do think that Seattle's a very, like, you're going to eventually move from the New Orleans market to Seattle or Vegas because it's just the business decision.
We need a 4th Texas team.
Definitely not going to get that. Spurs figured it out really smartly, actually. Especially, I really forgot that the partnership with Austin was going to be the most.
It would have to be El Paso if you're going to do something.
Yeah, and then obviously that's not going to be. You would just do a Mexico team at that point, I think, and put it in Tijuana. Mexico City is where they want it to go, but they're probably not going to go that far south central of Mexico just for the convenience of it. Yeah. But either way, I don't think it'll be moving on.
Back in my old NBA Live 2000 days, I always made the El Paso Jackrabbits, and then I would draft Shaq and Tim Duncan on a team together.
You know what I did? I created a 3rd LA team, the Hollywood Hedgehogs, because Sonic the Hedgehog was a logo that you could have on those old 2K games.
That's cool.
Nice. Hollywood.
I was playing when Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Were you playing what?
When the logos were just like all generic, like a letter.
Oh yeah.
They're like the old Maddens, like the Stars' current logo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as the state of the league, I don't know. Is there any other stories of basketball that have interested you guys at all?
Listen. The only thing that really caught my eye was that Mark Cuban allegedly wanting to try to buy back the team because all I could do is groan because I saw so many different corners of the internet of Mavs fandom kind of rejoice at the idea, and I'm like, come on, are we forgetting how he was very much a mediocre toward owner or governor, if you will, towards the end of his tenure with Dallas, and a lot of his decisions put the team in really tough spots for a decade. It felt like,
and still, you're still paying for some of it.
Still paying for some of it.
I would say at this point, I think there's just going to be a long path forward, no matter who the ownership group is, to getting the trauma away from the Luka trade.
Yeah, but even that notwithstanding, Mark wasn't making great basketball decisions for most.
No, I get you, but I just think in general,
Dirk kept that thing looking like an actual well-oiled machine for a long time.
I think in general, there's just not going to be a lot of positivity in the world. There's going to be there are deep pockets of sadness still in the Mavs fandom for a while. He's
best as a mascot owner now, and he's great at it, and that's what he should be.
But yeah, as far as the rest of the season, we got the All-Star game this weekend. That'll be interesting and fun, I guess, to some extent. The weekend itself, there will be moments that are fun. The game itself probably not going to be that interesting.
I don't even know what the game is this year. Is it East and West?
U.S. versus the world. That's why that Tears for Fears commercial was a thing.
Oh my god, that was my least favorite non-AI commercial. I don't know why. It was making me really mad listening to that.
That'll be we'll do a little recap of that next week, but then we'll get on to actually
February like 20th. I feel like I read that as like a date where there's gonna be like potentially a lot of buyouts and stuff, or somewhere around there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's another day where I don't know what specifically it would be, but yes, by the certain time, especially after All-Star, is usually when they'll start having guys actually come in and report. Because why are they going to bring a guy in right before All-Star week? That's fair. There's games on tonight, there's games on tomorrow night, and then there's no basketball until next Thursday.
Damn.
So, yeah. So it's a whole week off, there's no the big guys still have to go to All-Star and do the shit they don't want to do. But but that's also why that's another league fix that they could do is change where All-Star goes in the calendar, and that would probably help things too. But different conversation for a different day.
Well, we've got I think pitchers and catchers report next week.
Nice. Yeah, the baseball is very, very soon. I've been seeing Ranger tweets more often, which
the Rangers did bring back Jordan Montgomery today, World Series champion. Yeah. He's gonna be out till at least the All-Star break. He's recovering from Tommy John. Don't expect much from him. I'd be surprised if we actually see him pitch more than one game this year, but
I think that's actually going to be a smart signing, just because it's going to give a whole lot of leeway to, if we're mediocre, CY is going to be spamming that. Mid-season, Jordan Montgomery's going to be back in the.
No, I don't think
it's good different.
I don't think that's how it'll be. But other news: Jonah Heim, I believe, is officially with the Braves now.
Yeah.
Good for him. Glad he found somewhere. Me and C's earlier were looking through the Rangers theme nights. There's some fun ones in there, some confusing ones in there. We can maybe break that down at a later date.
Yeah, they did a Barbie one, which I think is the closest Oaklawn's ever going to get represented.
That's fair. Well,
no comment. No comment from me.
I was like, let me just pull this up and see if there's anything else I can squeeze a joke out of. Is Charlie Brown a gay icon?
There were some other options that were close. Yeah, there was Hello
Kitty. Oh, but
wait, there is a Hello Kitty night?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
April 25th. So I guess that means you saw the Dallas Wings jerseys they're gonna have.
Yeah, there's some good. The jerseys ones look good. There was some good merch.
That's a Yankees game, so good luck.
There was two.
Oh, they split up the Power Rangers this year.
There was two Aggie games.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Or two. Yeah, that was kind of wild.
So last year when they did the Power Rangers jerseys, it was one day and you got to pick blue or red. Now this year there's a green night and a black night.
Cool. And their last night of their themes is UNT night. So,
well, I'd like to see UNT at the Rangers game. I should have ended the pod on that joke.
Too late. You let it linger.
Olympics are happening right now. I watched some female hockey. We're really good. We're probably going to win the gold this year. We're incredible. Men should be starting soon. I don't remember. The actual men's tournament started today, but it was Finland and Slovakia. And for some reason, Slovakia just kicked Finland's ass, and that shouldn't have happened. So the Olympics is always fun for something like that. But a bunch of the stars are on the Finland team. That's why I'm somewhat interested in what they do.
Yeah.
USA, probably not going to win gold again. It's really unfortunate. We haven't won gold since 1980.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when they did not let professionals play.
Wonder how we figured it out. Yeah. I mean, look, I will attempt to watch some Winter Olympics.
The main reason I'm watching is because I had to get Peacock to watch the Super Bowl, so I got the Olympics for the next month.
Nice. Thankfully, the reality TV shows ensure that I have most of these subscription packages. So
yeah,
Peacock is good.
I'm just gonna be straightforward. I have no interest in the Winter Olympics, so I will get all my Winter Olympics news from you guys.
I like curling and I like hockey, and I will watch.
I saw Snoop curl. They've got Snoop out there again.
I was listening. I was smoking a cigarette at work, and that was playing in my ears because I had it on my computer at work. And I was just like, "Can we just deplatform him? Can we get a new mascot for the world? Can we get someone who's done something in the last 30 years?"
It is kind of funny that it's kind of funny that Snoop Dogg is just Uncle Sam now.
No, it's more.
We just trot him out. But they just trot him out for everything when he needs to represent America now. That's what NBC does. NBC literally, look at it. They just hired him to just put Snoop in a red, white, and blue.
Snoop in a car. Here's Snoop looking at hockey. United States men's hockey's first game is tomorrow, 2:00 against Latvia. So that'll be fun. I think that's pretty much all we have this week, unless you guys had anything else you wanted to throw down.
Good luck to all the Americans and whatnot, and good luck to the world. I don't give a shit. It's Winter Olympics. I want to see some snowboarding, if anything.
Yeah, that's already started. We saw Lindsey Vonn.
That was crazy. I did hear that.
Yeah, but it was a thing. It wasn't her previous leg injury that got her. It was she missed her turn around a gate, and her arm caught the gate, and that caused everything to fuck up.
Damn.
Yeah, and then apparently she's gonna keep going, and then it didn't really matter because she didn't qualify for a certain event or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
She tried.
If you're an Olympian, I'm with you. Just get out there as many times as you possibly can, because that is a short run you get. So,
she's been around for a hot minute. I feel.
Yeah, but she'll be done, and she's 30 something. That's your career.
Maybe.
Same with any pro sport.
She is. Oh yeah, she's 41. So yeah, she's been around.
That's cool.
Quite some time. Yeah, this might be her last hurrah then, which is
it's absolutely her last hurrah. Unless they get some major medical advances, and the Olympics allows a lot of bio prosthetics.
As soon as I Google her, she's had a successful third surgery on broken leg following crash at the Olympics. So
there you go.
There you go. We'll see if she goes for year 45 on the Olympics. I don't know.
All right. Oh my God. Sorry, I just scrolled down to the video of John Snyder at the Seahawks thing, and he's just so short. It looks so funny with all the tall guys behind him. Okay. Great thing to end on. Sorry.
Visual cues.
Oh, wait. And goodbye.